Imagine this. It's a muggy August morning in 1997, Mumbai. The air is, thick with that monsoon dampness and exhaust. The city's just waking up.
Yeah, that typical Bombay morning buzz.
And there's this man. He's following a routine he's had for decades. Quiet prayer, leaving his home, just like any other day.
A routine built over years. This guy went from selling juice on a deli street corner, like literally a juice stall, to running this massive multi-million-dollar global music empire.
Incredible. But this morning, that mundane routine, that moment of peace, it's about to be just shattered. Gunfire. Abrupt. Terrifying.
A brutal public execution. It really rips the lid off how far these shadows of power can reach.
And how refusing to bend, sticking to your principles can end so violently. This is a story we're diving into today. The story of Gulshan Kumar.
The man behind T-Series.
Exactly. His unbelievable rise and his shocking violent end. Okay, let's unpack this.
And to really get into this incredible and, frankly, pretty heartbreaking story, we've been digging deep into excerpts from the Gulshan Kumar story, from juice vendor to music mogul.
Right.
Our mission, really, for you listening, is to understand not just how this unlikely mogul shot up so fast, but the kind of perilous world he was navigating.
With such defiance, too.
Total defiance. And the forces, often unseen, that were lining up against him, we're going to connect the dots, between the street vendor's hustle, his deep faith.
And the really murky, ruthless world of organized crime that wanted a piece.
Yeah, wanted a piece of his success relentlessly. It's a story about ambition colliding tragically with this brutal reality.
So we're actually starting this deep dive at the end, not the beginning, the morning of August 12th, 1997.
The day it all fell apart.
Gulshan Kumar, a man whose life seems so tied to routine, to faith. He leaves his home in Anteri West, a busy part of Mumbai.
Heading to the Jitesh Mahadev Mandir, a temple.
A modest temple, yeah. And remarkably, one he'd actually helped renovate years ago, like 2 decades earlier, with his own money.
Wow. So it's personal.
Deeply personal. This wasn't just casual. It was a habit, a spiritual anchor for him, especially as his life got more, high stakes.
Right.
His driver, Rupal, is there. Same red Opel Astra.
Yeah.
But something's missing. Someone's missing.
The bodyguard.
Exactly. Rajesh, his government bodyguard, provided by the UP police because of earlier threats.
And he wasn't there.
Reportedly sick that day. Just sick. And that single absence, that tiny break in the routine, turns out to be absolutely devastating. It left him exposed.
For the first time in potentially months.
Yeah, exposed in a way he hadn't been for a long, long time.
And it's crucial to understand this wasn't like a random bolt from the blue.
No, not at all.
When you look at the source material, it's chilling. Gulshan Kumar had been getting mounting threats against his life for a while.
People knew. His family, friends.
Oh yeah, they were aware. Very aware. Specifically, 2 really ominous phone calls came in. August 5th, then again August 8th, just days before.
What did they say?
The message was crystal clear. No ambiguity. Pay up. Extortion money. Or, quote, face fatal consequences.
Wow.
And despite everyone, friends, family, advising him, change your routine, get better security, maybe lie low for a bit.
He refused.
He absolutely refused. He insisted that his faith was protection enough, kept his routine, daily temple visits, public appearances, everything.
That unwavering belief.
Noble, maybe. A testament to his conviction. But it put him on this collision course, made him incredibly vulnerable to people who saw his success not as inspiring, but as
something to take.
Exactly. His faith in that world looked like defiance. Dangerous defiance.
So the stage was set, a calculated, horrific act. He goes into the temple, quiet, performs his puja, offers prayers.
Like he had done every single day for 20 years.
Inside the temple, naturally there is nothing unusual about today.
Familiar, sacred space.
But outside, outside, beyond the protocol of incense and mantras, 3 men are waiting. And these weren't just thugs.
No, methodical, patient.
They'd spent weeks studying his movements. Weeks. Noting the timing, where his car parked, those tiny moments when he was most vulnerable.
The source actually says they'd been previously helped by the presence of his armed bodyguard, meaning the bodyguard's presence had stopped them before.
Right, it complicated things for them. But today is different. Rajesh isn't there.
The vulnerability is just glaring, an open invitation.
And they were ready, absolutely ready to take it.
And then the execution. Precise. Brutal. 10:40 a.m., Gulshan Kumar walks out of the temple, moving towards his car.
His driver, Rupal, goes ahead, opens the driver's side door of the red Opel Astra. It's parked, like barely 6 feet away.
So close.
But in that split second, as Rupal steps away and Gulshan heads for the passenger side, he's alone, exposed and within range.
That's when Raja, Abdul Rauf merchant, makes his move, comes up right behind him.
Witnesses later remembered what he said, chillingly. Bahut puja kaliya karna.
Roughly, you've prayed enough, time to go upstairs, or time to go to heaven, something like that.
And then, bam, the first shots rang out, striking him.
He stumbles, tries to run towards nearby schools, a slum area, just trying to get away.
But he's shot on his face. People start screaming, bystanders frozen in fear.
He's banging on doors of nearby houses, desperate, disoriented.
But nobody opened. They were terrified, hiding.
Rupal, the driver, tries to intervene. Brave, but
Gets shot in both legs, goes down.
the attackers just keep firing, relentless, a volley of bullets. The whole area just erupted into chaos.
Screaming, people fleeing. But the attackers, they're described as being terrifyingly calm.
Yeah, just calmly made their escape, hijacked a taxi at gunpoint, ditched it later, and just melted into the Mumbai chaos. Gone.
Leaving behind absolute devastation, a sacred place just desecrated.
But the aftermath, just frantic. Inside the temple compound where he was praying moments before, now just a pool of blood.
Ramchandra Manchu, the temple trust president, he'd greeted Gulshan minutes earlier. He drags his body to the back of the opal.
Desperate. But Rupal's wounded, can't drive.
So a bystander, Jeshu Yori, a rickshaw driver just nearby, gets pushed into service. Ramchandra shoves the keys in his hand, tells him, drive, Cooper Hospital.
Wow, just grabbing anyone.
Yeah. As they speed off, neighbors are peeking out cautiously from behind closed doors. Fear, curiosity.
And the temple bells.
Hauntingly, yeah. Sang gently in the air, like a surreal, mournful soundtrack.
The race to Cooper Hospital, it ends quickly. The emergency team is alerted. Police constables saw the shooting. They're ready.
Doctors, nurses rush out. Gulshan's carried inside. He's barely conscious. Eyes barely open, breathing shallow, labored.
Body riddled with bullet wounds. 16 shots they later found.
They try everything. CPR, resuscitation, blood transfusions, desperate efforts.
Meanwhile, Rupal, the driver, shot himself, is sitting nearby in a wheelchair, just sobbing uncontrollably, helpless.
But it's too late. Within minutes. Exactly 11:15 a.m. on August 12, 1997, Gulshan Kumar was declared dead.
The news just explodes instantly. Across India, TV breaking news.
Tributes start pouring in. Music industry, fans, everyone's stunned. But amidst the grief,
There was fear, a real chilling fear. This wasn't isolated. This felt like
the beginning of something darker, a message had been sent, loud and clear.
to really get the weight of that ending, you have to understand the empire he built. It's almost unbelievable.
So let's go back decades. Delhi, 1950s. Gritty. The air smells like coal smoke and dust. Post-partition chaos.
Yeah, a city finding its feet. And there's this young boy, Gulshan Dua, behind a fruit juice stall.
His father, Chandraban Dua, was a refugee from West Punjab, one of countless families uprooted by the partition.
Life was just about survival back then. Every rupee counts, no luxuries.
His family lived in this tiny space like a garage. That was his start.
But even then, grinding away at the juice stall, something else caught his ear. Music.
It was everywhere, wasn't it? Radios on pan shops, loudspeakers at temples.
Battery-powered record players in homes. Music was constant. And he noticed things. The way customers revered Muhammad Rafi's voice without realizing it.
He saw it as medicine.
Yeah, a kind of medicine in a city broken by migration and poverty. A balm. And then the business insight hits him.
Music sells faster than fruit.
Bingo. He starts selling pre-recorded cassettes at the family shop, not just Bollywood hits, but smartly also devotional songs too, bhajans, artists, nets.
That religious angle, that was key, wasn't it?
Absolutely key, tapping into something timeless, something the big labels often overlooked. It showed he understood the common person.
So early 70s, he makes this huge shift, ditches the juice, focuses totally on music.
He starts sourcing cassettes from the big guys, Polydor, HMV, but sells them cheap, low prices to neighborhood customers.
He just knew the market.
Yeah.
Knew what people wanted but couldn't afford.
And an uncanny instinct. And he was obsessed. The source says, even when other boys played around, he stayed close to the shop, wanted to understand what made people buy one cassette over another.
Meticulous.
Yeah.
Ground-level research.
Then came the big leap. Mid-70s, he stops just reselling, starts recording sets on his own.
His own production. How?
Super basic setup. A few tape decks, blank cassettes, in a small room. He gets local singers, often unknown, to cover popular songs. Bollywood, classical, whatever.
Was this legal?
Yeah, kind of gray area, not fully legal, but everyone was doing it.
Yeah.
Copyright law was weak, his edge, quality covers, simple, recognizable, and the price.
Way cheaper, right?
Like 15 or 10 compared to 20 for an official one. Huge difference for most people. That made music accessible.
And he calls the company Super Cassettes Industries.
Yeah, even back then, tiny operation, but the name just screams ambition. Bold.
Then, 1977, the whole cassette culture explodes in India.
Massive shift. Cheap Japanese radios flood the market. Cassettes become portable, durable, and cheap. Suddenly, music is everywhere. Homes, weddings, religious functions.
Essential.
And Gulshan sees it happening and moves fast. He doesn't wait. He goes out to them, shopkeepers, wholesalers, vendors, builds relationships.
At that personal touch again.
Legendary service. Replace defective tapes without argument. Offer credit to struggling vendors. Stuff the big Mumbai execs would never do. He was the man who shows up. The man who listens.
Building loyalty brick by brick.
And he keeps expanding that catalog beyond Bollywood hits. He knew, in India, faith never goes out of fashion.
So, more devotional albums?
Tons of them. Hanuman Chalisa, Islamic knots, stuff the big labels thought wasn't profitable. He hired unknown singers for peanuts, like 100 a recording.
Wow. Just churning out content.
Exactly. By the early 80s, Super Cassettes is making serious money, and soon T-Series born.
T for Trident, Shiva Symbol, and Tape Series.
Clever, right. Religious connection plus literally what they sold. Scrappy, no fancy packaging, but everywhere. Meerut, Patna, a true grassroots phenomena.
He ran it super tight, didn't he? Micromanaging everything.
Incredibly tight ship. He personally listens to most recordings before release, approves accounts, negotiates deals himself.
A workhorse. 7 days a week, late nights.
Totally. Demanding, yeah, but workers called him fair. He had this way. If a distributor was hesitant, he'd just say, "Don't worry, take it, we'll send them." And he was usually right. His gut instinct was amazing.
And he kept pouring money back in, right? Not just pocketing it.
Constantly reinvesting, better equipment, bigger warehouses, stronger transport links to reach rural India. Owning hundreds of master tapes gave him control.
Then the cover versions thing. That really shook things up.
Oh yeah, late 80s, a bigger gamble. He found this loophole in Indian copyright law. After 3 years, anyone could record a song if they paid a royalty.
Yeah, he used that aggressively.
Totally. He'd flood the market with his cheap cover versions before the original labels could react, captured all the initial buzz. Competitors were absolutely furious.
Accuse him of killing the industry. Lawsuits.
Yeah, lawsuits flew. But Gulshan is always 3 steps ahead, mastered the legal gray areas, knew the market inside out, changed the whole game.
So by 1990, T-Series controls, what, nearly 60% of the market?
Astonishing. An empire built on hustle, not glamour, and he didn't stop. Moved into film production.
Why films? Risky business.
Simple logic. If he wants the film, he owns the music rights too. Vertical integration. The soundtrack was often more profitable than the film itself.
Smart. So films like Bawafa Sanam?
Yeah, low-budget stuff. Didn't always kill it at the box office, but the music albums always become hits. Guaranteed return.
And then Ashiki, 1990. That was the game changer.
Monumental. Nadeem Shravan's soundtrack, one of the highest-selling Bollywood albums of all time, made T-Series a global name, seemingly overnight.
But he knew it wasn't overnight.
Exactly. He knew it was the culmination of years, days of Sinbad tracks that led to this moment. He understood owning content was the future.
Building infrastructure, studios, duplication plans.
By 97, the year he died, T-Series was a $90 million company, holding rights to 18,000 audio tracks and 2,000 video titles.
He was the king of Indian music, absolutely wrote the rules.
But that kind of success, especially built like that, disrupting everything, it brings shadows.
Yeah, not everyone was thrilled. Competitors accused him of piracy, unfair practices.
New guys couldn't compete. But there was something darker closing in.
The Underworld.
Organized crime. These world figures noticed this business blowing up, getting huge fast, and refusing to play their game, refusing to pay protection money.
That refusal.
Yeah.
That was the core issue, wasn't it?
It became the fatal issue. By the early 90s, his ambition takes him to Bombay, the heart of the entertainment industry.
But Bombay was different.
A whole different world. Success there came with invisible cost. Higher stakes, more fear, unlike Delhi, maybe.
Who ran things there?
Men whose names were whisper not spoken. They controlled smuggling, black markets, sure, but also real estate, politics, and increasingly film and music.
Dawood Ibrahim.
Operating from Dubai, building this massive criminal empire, and Bollywood was a prime target. ripe for exploitation.
This link between Bollywood and the underworld,
Yeah.
it wasn't new, right?
No, started decades earlier, a slow creep. But by the 80s, 90s, impossible to ignore.
How do they get involved? Financing?
Yeah, financing movies was a big sideline. Quick cash, no questions asked until it's time to pay. But those debts came with terrifying strings.
They influence casting, too. Like at gunpoint.
Sometimes, yeah. Dictated choices. If a producer hesitated, a quiet visit or a late-night call usually settled the matter.
Newspapers reported shootings, beatings, but mostly silence.
Mostly silence. Too much fear. Speaking out could ruin careers, even end lives. Complicity felt safer.
Their reach was huge then. Financing, distribution.
Everything. Protection money was demanded, non-negotiable tax. Pirated VHS tapes flooded the market, often with direct syndicate involvement.
Even big names couldn't escape. Films like Chori Chuppi Chu.
Later found to be bankrolled by underworld figures, it showed how deep it went. By the mid-90s, it wasn't even secret anymore. Just accepted, feared, lived with.
So why Bollywood? Why was it so appealing to them? Beyond just the money, seems risky.
Good question. It wasn't just about cash. 3 key things, really. 1. Asymmetric returns. Films, if they hit big, a small investment leads to an outsized outcome. Massive quick profits. High risk, high reward.
Makes sense. 2.
Money laundering. Film production back then, super opaque, easy way to pay off with black money. Clean illicit funds through a seemingly legit business, like real estate, but maybe flashier.
Okay, laundering. And the 3rd.
Glamour and influence. This is more psychological. Any mafia guy yearns for glamour, wants to rub shoulders with stars, wants that legitimacy, not be seen as just some street thug.
They let them jump several social tiers.
Exactly. Gain status, respectability they couldn't get otherwise. We see it in court documents, like actress Preeti Zinta talking about those haunting calls she used to get nights on an underworld-funded film. That's the reality behind the glamour they craved.
So this glittering, dangerous Bombay, it offered Gulshan Kumar huge opportunities, bigger market, film soundtracks.
But also the stark choice. His success, built on not playing by their rules, not paying tribute, that was dangerous there.
In Delhi, maybe he was too useful, too respected locally.
Possibly. But Bombay was different. Success there could make you a target faster than it made a hero. His defiance wasn't just inconvenient. It was a direct challenge to their system.
Why was he so stubborn, though? Extortion was basically standard practice, not optional.
Friends called it arrogance. Told him he was being reckless.
But for him,
It was his belief that doing the right thing would protect him. Deep faith, belief in hard work, divine protection.
but that faith would be tested in the worst way.
Tragically, yes. By early 97, the signals were impossible to ignore. Anonymous calls, whispers, warnings at parties, advice to get more security.
The net was closing in.
And Gulshan, true to his nature, stood firm, unwittingly sealing his fate. His conviction was immense, but against that kind of ruthless pragmatism, it was a vulnerability.
So despite all these warnings and danger signals flashing red, Gulshan Kumar remained unmoved.
Stubbornly so. He had Rajesh, the UP police bodyguard,
Yeah.
Otherwise, changed little about his life.
Still the daily temple visits, walking around Nogar without extra security, running T-Series hands-on.
Yeah, listening to recordings, obsessed with work. The threats, in his mind, were just noise. Background static he chose to tune out, believing his faith, his good deeds, would shield him.
That routine, his source of strength, became his fatal weakness. The pattern the hunters watched.
And the threats became direct, very direct. Those phone calls, August 5th and August 8th, 1997.
Explicit demands.
Totally pay several crores, tens of millions of rupees, or face consequences. And these calls were allegedly linked to Abu Salim.
Dawood Ibrahim's lieutenant, known for bringing Bollywood figures into line.
Exactly. Gulshan's name was apparently added to a growing list of targets. Producers, financiers who dared defy the new rules. His refusal put him squarely in the crosshairs of people who operated by completely different, brutal rules.
And the man tasked with the job, Abdul Rauf Merchant, Russia.
Not a public name, but in the crime world, he had a reputation. Quiet, unremarkable guy, but could deliver what was needed efficiently, brutally.
Not the mastermind, but loyal, efficient.
The perfect instrument. Alongside him, Abdul Rashid and Muhammad Ali. Foot soldiers, sharpshooters, and lookout rolled into one. A team.
Getting orders through filtered calls from safe houses overseas.
Yeah, keeping the top guys insulated. The assignment was chillingly clear. Gulshan Kumar refused to pay. He had to be made an example. His death wasn't just about the money, it was a message.
To everyone else, don't defy us.
Precisely. And the planning was meticulous, chilling. Took weeks for Raja and his team to study Gulshan's movements.
Surveillance, watching everything.
Timing of the temple visits, where the car parked, those tiny moments of exposure, and crucially noting when he wasn't with the bodyguard.
They kept notes, daily notes.
Each day notes were made, details down to the T, temple layout, street names, exit routes. They figured mornings were best, temple mostly empty, streets quiet, less chaos.
The main obstacle was Rajesh, the bodyguard.
Yeah, the silent shadow, armed, trained. An attack with him there risked gunfire, capture, failure. Too messy, too risky.
There was this associate, Abdul Manan, getting impatient.
Apparently, yeah. Chain smoking, fidgeting, complaining the job was taking too long, but the orders were strict. No mistakes. It had to be final, clean, public, a statement.
Not a botched job, a clear assassination.
Then, the break they needed, the opening, August 11th, the day before. Word filters through the network. Rajesh, bodyguard, had fallen sick.
Wow. Just like that.
For the first time in weeks, Gulshan might be unprotected. It wasn't 100% confirmed, but it was enough. The crack in the armor.
The warning calls had set the stage.
And Gulshan's refusal to change his behavior, his continued temple visits. That was the final green light for Raja. His defiance sealed it.
So the plan for August 12th, now that the bodyguard was out, it was simple, brutal.
Chillingly so. One shooter approaches Gulshan leaving the temple, another provides backup, cuts off escape, a third covers the exit, a kill box.
Weapons.
Small, easily concealed pistols, perfect for close range, inconspicuous until the last second, no rifles, no drama, just efficiency.
16 bullets would speak loud enough.
Yeah. Exactly. An assassination. Swift, absolute, leaving no doubt who did it and why. The overkill was part of the message.
The night before, just final checks.
Yeah, guns loaded, movements reviewed, timing set, cold professional purpose. August 12th, they take position near the temple. Humid morning, streets wet.
City waking up, normal day for everyone else.
But there, in that little pocket, everything felt suspended, slowed, unnatural calm. Inside, Gulshan's praying. Routine, unaware.
Outside, Raj and his men watch.
Yeah.
Blending in. 10:40 a.m., Gulshan steps out.
Driver opens the car door. That moment of exposure, Raja approaches. Quietly, purposefully, says those words. Bahut puja kalia karnar. Now go purr upstairs.
Then the first shot. Then another. Gulshan staggers, bleeding, crying out. The second gunman closes in. 16 shots fired. Total brutality.
They flee fast, hijack the taxi, vanish into the Bombay chaos, leaving behind.
A dying man, a city in shock, and a music empire without its king. A public spectacle of terror.
The aftermath is just immediate chaos. Dia Nagar police station, phones ringing off the hook. News exploding everywhere. Senior Inspector Rashmi Jadhav starts typing up case number 5721997. A homicide investigation like no other.
Within hours, the first formal complaint is put together. Witnesses are shell-shocked. Ramchandra, the temple president, Rupal, the driver, giving what he can remember through the pain.
Fruit vendors describing the three men seen lingering near the temple, waiting. The first pieces start falling into place.
Senior cops know right away this isn't random.
You know, the precision, multiple shooters, the getaway, screams professional planning, organized crime hit.
The case gets handed to a special task force, led by DCP Rakesh Maria.
A rising star in Mumbai police, known for being relentless, alongside ACP Sanjay Pandey, Inspector Nitin Patil of veterans.
First steps. Lock down the crime scene. Temple courtyard still spattered with blood.
They recover the bullets. 9mm bullets matching typical gangster weaponry. Confirmed suspicions. No CCTV back then, really, but some footage from nearby shops.
Showed a glimpse of two figures walking briskly from the temple area, minutes after. Crucial timing.
Rakesh Maria moves fast. Knows time is critical, word's already out. Underworld involved, maybe Abu Salim.
So they tap into their network. Informants.
Within 48 hours, the crime branch gets whispers. A small associate, spooked by the media frenzy and police heat, dropped the name Abdul Raf Merchant alias Raja.
The trigger man, known to police as a street-level enforcer.
With ambitions. But by the time they raid his usual spots, he'd already vanished. Manhunt starts. Underworld goes quiet, feels the heat.
Well, they get him.
Yeah, the breakthrough comes 12 days later, August 24th. Raja is caught. In a safe house in the crowded alleys of Dongri.
Did he resist?
Reportedly didn't. Knew the game is over. In custody under relentless interrogation by Maria's team, he cracked.
Confessed.
According to the official statement, "We have been instructed Kumar must be eliminated. He refused to comply with demands. His death would be a message." Chilling confirmation.
And he didn't work alone.
Police quickly picked up his brother, Abdul Rashid Daud Merchant, key player in logistics. And from their homes, they find 2 pistols wrapped in cloth. Ballistics match the bullets from the temple. Undeniable forensic link.
So the police piece it together. Raja fired first. Abdul Rashid and Muhammad Ali were back up, kept firing, hijacked the taxi, switched cars twice to lose any tail.
Very planned. The judge, M.L. Tahiliani, later noted the actions showed a degree of planning, training, and sensitization not seen in crimes of spontaneous violence.
Yeah.
This was professional, a hit.
Designed to send that message of terror.
And the investigation piles up more evidence. Phone records show calls from payphones near the temple days before. Real attempts made to intimidate him.
Connecting the threats to actual action.
Exactly. T-Series employees testify about the extortion threats Gulshan had dismissed, which now seem horrifyingly prescient.
And the most damning part? The shooters waited.
Positioned for weeks, watched his routine, noted the bodyguard's presence, and crucially his occasional absence. They waited day after day until that day when Rajesh had fallen sick, seized that opportunity, proved premeditation.
In court, Raja showed little emotion, just cold indifference.
Pretty much. When asked why he targeted Gulshan Kumar, this huge figure, he just reportedly mumbled under his breath, "Hukam hukam hodahai, orders are orders."
Wow, just following orders, the banality of evil.
Exactly, a life extinguished because someone powerful, far away, ordered it, and a soldier obeyed.
Judge Tahiliani's final ruling really nailed it, didn't it? Said it wasn't personal grievance, but organized crime using fear to control.
Yeah, not a personal hatred, but as agents or corrupt system that threatens not just individuals, but civil order itself. Recognized it as an attack on society.
Raja got life imprisonment for murder. His brother, Abdul Rashid, also convicted.
But Muhammad Ali, the third shooter, got away. Flee and evade capture for years, a frustrating loose end.
And even with the convictions, no real sense of victory for the police.
No. They knew they got the shooters, but not the system that created them. Abu Salim remained abroad, protected. And Dawood Ibrahim
Continues to run his empire from a safe distance. Even today, the real power remained untouched.
a grim reality.
But T-Series today,
Yeah.
it's a giant, a colossus in global pop culture.
Valued at over $500 million. $500 million. Built from nothing.
It has one of the world's biggest YouTube channels, right? Beat PewDiePie.
Yeah, that whole online battle captivated everyone, made them a household name globally, woven into digital life, love for the Bollywood hits, maybe infamous for copyright strikes too.
Fiercely protective, a dominant force, a living legacy that defied the very people who tried to kill its creator.
And when you connect it all back, behind the billions, the lawsuits, the YouTube subscribers, it's still the simple, stubborn story of a boy at a juice stall.
Who noticed that people bought music fast.
And turned that observation into an empire, turned songs into a business that ultimately even bullets couldn't destroy. A testament to his spirit, his innovation, and the brutal reality he faced. Hashtag outro.
What a story. Gulshan Kumar's journey.
Yeah.
It really is one for the ages. From that humble juice stall to the absolute top of this massive empire, only to be cut down so brutally by forces he refused to yield to.
It's got everything. Vision, grit, incredible faith, and then this dramatic, violent clash with power.
So thinking about all this, what's the takeaway for you listening right now? Beyond the drama.
I think this story, his life and death, it really asks a tough question, doesn't it? It echoes beyond just music moguls and gangsters.
Oh, geez.
In a world where ambition pushes boundaries, where success disrupts things, how much do you sacrifice to stick to your beliefs, especially when you're up against systems that play by totally different rules, violent rules?
Yeah.
Gulshan Kumar's story is the stark reminder of the hidden costs, the terrifying costs sometimes, of being a true disruptor, of daring to write your own rules.
Makes you wonder, how many other unseen battles are being fought right now? By people trying to build something, create something.
In environments where these dark forces demand conformity, often with deadly consequences, it's a chilling thought to end on.